A very good Saturday to everybody. Thanks for clicking on to the 139th edition of the Global Weather Report. The good news is that the summer forecast release date will be Sunday, the 25th of May. So, Sunday, the 25th of May, put that in your diaries, your calendars, whatever. I will be doing a special live stream on the Sunday, the 25th, for the release of not just the summer forecast, but also the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season as well. So it's going to be a double whammy on that Sunday, the final Sunday of May. So I hope you can join me for that. I hope you can stick around. Have you subscribed to Mark Fogan Weather here on YouTube yet? If you haven't, it's absolutely free. Unique, unbiased, unhyped content here on YouTube, and it's going to be starting to bubble up as we move through the month of May, building the ideas now for both the hurricane season forecast as well as the European summer forecast also. So do check that out. Also, the good news is that the live streams will be back this day, not this day, but tomorrow, next week. So next Sunday, the live streams will all be back as normal. So obviously it has been a bumpy old time here in the Vogan household. Lost my mum back on the 7th of April. Took some time out, but things are hopefully starting to go back to what I would consider a new normal, so to speak, and certainly on a personal note anyway. But nevertheless, record warm end to the month of April, beginning to the month of May. We did see an all-time April record achieved at Athenry in the Republic of Ireland. That was 25.9 Celsius. We did see Northern Ireland's warmest April day in 41 years, 24.1 recorded at Castlederg. We've seen a 24.4 recorded at Aboyne, Aberdeenshire. That was Scotland's warmest April day since 2019. We are seeing colder air moving south and southwestwards as we speak, and that is going to provide a cooler than average upcoming 5 days across western areas of Europe here. Some folks that don't like the heat, I'm sure that will be welcome news. Unfortunately, there doesn't look as if there's going to be much in the way of rainfall through at least the first half of May, which means that we're continuing with this unusually dry spring. It could be one of the driest springs on record for the UK and Ireland. Do check out on Monday the European Outlook. We will be talking about the longer range prospects with regards to summer, some of the longer range modelling, some ideas as well. So I hope you can stick around for that. But we are coming off the back of what was the sunniest April on record for the UK. This is an article produced by the Met Office. It was one of the warmest, it was the sunniest, and it was one of the driest Aprils as well. And this is coming off a record sunny March. So record sunny April for England, record sunny March for England as well. And I think it was the second sunniest for Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland. So some very interesting stats coming out at the moment. We'll talk about record heat in the Middle East. We're going to also look at some of the floods that have been taking place around the world over the last week or so as well. So stay tuned for that. This is the month of May. So far, very cool start to the month of May, I must add, for parts of many areas of Canada, as well as that across Western Russia and that area there over North Africa, Libya into Egypt. Unusually cool compared to average. We've got a little bit of cooler than average across, Turkey, for example. But while we've got the exceptionally cool start to the month of May for parts of the central and eastern Sahara into the Sahel region, we're talking about an exceptionally warm start to the month of May over Central and Western Europe here. So big contrast to start the month. We've got a colder than average across the majority of Australia, also across southwestern China, eastern India, into parts of Bangladesh and Myanmar. We're talking about unusually cool start of the month of May. Here we did see record rainfall or very heavy rainfall, at least over parts of Thailand and Myanmar over the last couple of days. But the standout really for me is over parts of Canada. If we look at Canada specifically, this is how the month of May has begun. Very cool, especially around the Hudson Bay area. into northern portions of Manitoba, Ontario, for example, seeing some unusually cool conditions. This is coming off the back of some very hot conditions during the middle portions of last week here. So this is the big flips, the big contrasts that we're seeing not only across Europe but other parts of the world. This is the month of May so far. Very chilly conditions. We've actually seen record snowfall in parts of Moscow. I'll try and show you that in a second or so here. But the core of the heat, especially England and Wales, Southern Ireland, and into the near continent, northern France, the Low Countries, Germany, seeing the greatest anomalies compared to average. Looking at Africa then, and this really stands out to me, Libya and into Egypt, where we're talking about temperatures, double figures below normal to start the month of May. Some fairly warm conditions across northern portions of Algeria. But we've got quite contrast here. Cool than average central and southern Morocco, warmer than average Algeria, very cool compared to average across Libya and Egypt. And also down across the southern tip of Africa, we've also got some unusually cool conditions here as well, which is quite interesting. Looking at Asia, it's been boiling across Central Asia, for example, into the Middle East. Outstandingly hot conditions for the time of the year. Midsummer level warmth. We're talking about near 50 Celsius, for example, in the Arabian Peninsula, which is, I suppose you could say, quite concerning given the fact that it's only April. We're only beginning the month of May. And also we're talking about near 50 in Pakistan. That's not overly unusual as we move towards the hottest time of the year ahead of the monsoon. I'm going to also try and look at the 2025 monsoon season in the subcontinent of India as well. So lots of reason to stick around because we're going to be looking at all things tropical, all things weather related in general. So that is the month of May so far. We're only 2 days in, obviously 3 days if you want to be specific here. This has been recorded on Friday afternoon because I'm a bit tied up today, so it's been recorded the day before. Hope you understand that. But this is looking back at the global picture and looking at the month of April, and very, very mild compared to average across many areas of the world. We do have pockets of below average, it has to be said. The equatorial and subtropical northern hemisphere side of both sides of the hemisphere, in fact, over Africa has been below average in the month of April, which is quite interesting. Very warm across the majority of the continent of Europe. We've got a little bit of a mixed bag across Australia with warmer than average west, southeast, cooler than average central and north of Australia. We continue with this below average across southwestern China. It's really strange to see how persistent this is. Western portions of India and then extending into Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, the Arabian Peninsula, but up towards Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and all the other stands in that part of the world. We've been seeing some incredible warmth over the past several weeks here. Across North America, warmer than average for the majority of Alaska, northwestern Canada, below average across the prairie states into Ontario, southern portions of Quebec, warmer than average across the north. In terms of South America, we're talking about a largely warmer than average Brazil, with the exception to the far south and southwest. Colder than average across Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, slightly warmer than average across Peru into Colombia and Venezuela. You can see here a little bit of a mixture of below versus above average. So, in terms of extreme rainfall, we've been seeing plenty of that of late. This was the scenes of Weather Monitor on YouTube showing some remarkable storms. This is Morocco. So basically you're looking at floodwaters but also hail. So obviously, basically, you've got that cut-off area of low pressure that I've been talking about quite often in on the European outlook, and essentially what you've got is quite a lot of instability in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. Strong surface heating means that we're forcing thunderstorms to develop, and as a consequence of that, we're seeing some pretty nasty conditions. This is down in parts of Spain. Again, similar to Morocco, floodwaters. We've got hail, water running down the streets, and that's going to be a theme, I think, as we move through the month of May because of that cut-off low trapped underneath. This is over in Almaty in Kazakhstan, by the way. Again, very similar to what we've just seen. So there you go. Basically, 3 different parts of the world we're seeing thunderstorms containing large hail, which is quite interesting. This was the scene in South Cali, a neighborhood of Cani, or the Cani is the neighborhood in South Cali in Colombia, South America. Videos aren't particularly easy to see. I do apologize for that. Big earthquake, by the way, down 7.4 magnitude earthquake has just occurred. Now, this has been recorded, like I say, on Friday afternoon. This is in southern Chile, and yeah, this is just 44 minutes ago. So that's essentially just happened. Breaking news, 7.4 magnitude earthquake has been recorded in southern Chile. A tsunami warning has been issued for the coastal regions as authorities begin evacuating residents in affected areas. So a big earthquake just occurred in South America. This was the scene, by the way, in Moscow. Remember I said about record snowfall? Upwards of 43 millimeters of snow fell in 36 hours, breaking a 116-year record. So this was on the 1st of May, and this was the scenes in Moscow. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff going on in the far east of Europe. Now, according to Weather Monitor, 30 boiler houses were disconnected, affecting heating and hot water services. 93 settlements and 26,000 residents are without power due to fallen trees and damaged power lines. Probably the weight of snow, because of milder than average temperatures. We'll probably seen the trees leaf earlier than usual. And then with the heavy snowfall and the weight, it's brought the power lines down. This is the main event is underway. The North Vent is erupting solo with lava fountains reaching 300 feet above sea level. This is in the Hawaiian Islands out in the Pacific. This is the big island, by the way. So beautiful scenes of this eruption. Here, let's see here, and then we'll look at temperature extremes, and then we will move on from there. Severe flooding occurring in parts of the Dominican Republic, in the Caribbean. So yeah, nasty conditions in many parts of the world. We are going to see the continuation of that, I think, in some of the same areas, including the Iberian Peninsula, for example. This is, by the way, in another part of the world. Again, large scale. This is Mexico this time. Certainly wouldn't fancy being in that, by the way. That would give you a sore head for sure. This was the scene, by the way, in Delhi, India. A major windstorm affecting the north metropolis of Delhi in India. Lots of lightning, big old cumulonimbus stars, gusty winds associated with those storms. And this was the scene, by the way, down in Saudi Arabia. As well as temperatures close to the upper 40s, we're also seeing the development of major thunderstorms over the Arabian desert, and therefore obviously heavy rainfall in a short space of time creates mega flooding. This was the scene also in parts of Colombia also. So again, those flooding in South Cali. Let me just see here if we've got anything else to show you. Big sandstorm in this part of India. Obviously, we're seeing the heat build here ahead of the monsoon. We're still a little bit away before the advance of the monsoon moves into the south of India and then eventually progresses further north as we go deeper into June and then eventually into the month of July. Big sandstorm in Homs province, also in Syria. So you can see that there. Let me just see here if there's anything else to show. This was quite interesting. I've just seen this here. Big landslide, by the way, in Norway. So check this out. Scary stuff. Homes, outbuildings getting washed out into the ocean. Very sad scene. So yeah, major landslip in coastal Norway. This was again a tweet issued back a day or so ago. Major wildfires as well as flooding. This was the scene near Jerusalem. It looks as if it was arson, but 18 people have been arrested in connection with a large wildfire still burning near Jerusalem, with one suspect recordedly caught in the act setting a fire. This was according to Bibi. The fires continue to rage, damaging natural landscapes, forcing families to evacuate and filling the air with thick smoke. So that's the scene near Jerusalem in Israel. Is there anything else I can show you here? There was also a scene near the Tirzah Valley of Israel. Let's see here. Where's this here? That's again in Colombia. So let's move on. If there's anything else I can say. This was in Gaza. Dust storm swept through Gaza, causing chaos as tents were torn from the ground and blown away by powerful winds. This was also seen again in the Tirzah Valley of Israel, in Potosi in Missouri, the United States. This was the floods that was seen. Major flooding in parts of anywhere from New Orleans up through Oklahoma into Missouri. Severe weather has been an ongoing major thing this season. Obviously, this is the heart of the severe weather season in parts of the United States. We're going to see the severe threat continuing to build further north as we move deeper into May, into June. The severe risk, the tornado threat becomes gets further and further north. But we've had a really, really nasty severe weather season in 2025 across parts of the United States. Also, the scene here from Mount Etna of the ongoing eruption in parts of Sicily, for example. Continue to skip through here just to see if I can find anything else that really stands out. The chances are I'll probably forget something significant after this video has been produced. That is more than likely to be the case. So let's move on then. Let's look at some tweets by our friend Terry Goose. We'll look at his Twitter handle each and every weekend. Always delivers fantastic information. I do encourage you to greatly, take time to check him out if you're on Twitter. If you're interested in global weather stats. Also, Maximiliano, extreme temperatures around the world is his Twitter name. These two folks are fantastic to follow in terms of global weather information. But look at this here. Back in the 26th of April, I touched on this last weekend in the global weather report. The temperatures that are coming out of parts of Central Asia as well as the Middle East is just outrageous. 49 Celsius was achieved in parts of Kuwait, 46 in Saudi Arabia, 45 in Iran. Blows away all-time national April records, by the way. Very warm temperatures in parts of central and western Canada. We're seeing temperatures 27 in Lytton in British Columbia. We've also seen temperatures as high as 28 in parts of Ontario in recent days as well. And now we're obviously talking about some unusually chilly conditions. But Dadu in Pakistan, this was back on the 27th of April. Temperatures as high as 48 Celsius. Again, nothing massively surprising about that. What is surprising is the amount of heat and the level of heat we're seeing in parts of the Middle East. Iraq, for example, Basra recording a new all-time record for the month of April in Iraq, 46.1, Iran 44. We've already seen temperatures even warmer than that. Moving on then, We're talking about temperatures as high as 46.6 in the UAE, 0.3 from the April record. Qatar, 44.5. That is 1.5 from the April record. Uzbekistan, we're talking about 39.5. I believe there's been temperatures, by the way, in relatively high ground over parts of Kazakhstan into the low 40s. Again, that is mid-summer level heat, not temperatures you would expect to see at the end of April, beginning of May. So there you go here. Afghanistan, 44.7. That is unofficially because I think there's some sort of issue with because no data. But temperatures has 47 in Daman. We've got 46 in Iran. We've got Turkmenistan, 43.3 Celsius. So exceptional heat in Western Asia. Again, Pakistan, Iran, India, temperatures as high as 46 Celsius. This is interesting here, 45.9 recorded again. Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, 40, 0.1 from the April record. Kazakhstan, 39, 0.5 from the Kazakhstan record for April. And Kyrgyzstan, I think it is, pronounced a new April record, 36.1 Celsius, previous being 35.1, the same station back in 2020. So let's move on then. Obviously, we've seen some very, very hot conditions across Western Europe at the time of the year. Temperatures as high as 28.7 Celsius, some records for the month of April, albeit short-lived records, it has to be said, but we have seen temperatures in and around the 30 Celsius mark in parts of northern France. Obviously, I've spoken about Athenry in County Galway, temperatures as high as 25.9, the hottest April day on record here. And we've been seeing, obviously, temperatures hot across several parts of the world. But then again, there is cooler pockets to speak about as well. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the 139th edition of the Global Weather Report. Day off tomorrow, back again with a look at the longer term on Monday, and then the live stream next weekend. Remember, the summer and the hurricane season forecast will be released on the live stream on the 25th of May on Sunday. So I hope you can pencil that in and tune in when that comes about. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, your weekend. I'll see you Monday with more weather information. Bye-bye.